Jumping back to Lamp's Cryptoverse. There is so much news and important news nonetheless that I figured I'd do my first on a video that announces all of this news. And I'm just going to cover a few items today. And even that is like huge. I mean, you could go into a rabbit hole for each of these, but let's get started because this news is so important. It can affect, like I said, it can affect your financial life. But remember, I am not a financial advisor. I am here to entertain you. So the first news event is, not news event, the news is this major announcement. Actually, it's from Google Cloud, and they mentioned one announcement after another announcement after another announcement. Basically, Google Cloud is working with Solana to bring blockchain node engine to the Solana platform next year in 2023. So it's going to be easy for anyone to launch a dedicated Solana node to the cloud. Some people criticized Solana for this news, saying it'll be more centralized. I think the opposite. This Google Cloud news is going to be allowing people like you and me the ability to operate a node because it's in the Google Cloud. The Google Cloud's making like a kit for it, basically. Of course, yes, there is the issue of centralization because Google Cloud basically is a centralized entity in the same manner as Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. But I think this is a good thing for Solana. It's going to get their node count up. And already, if you look at Solana's Nakamoto coefficient, it's going up fairly consistently over the last few months. Next news event. Let's see what else there is here. I'm going to skip the rest of it, but there's more news for Solana. Let's go to the other next big news for Solana that's outside of Google, and that's this. Crypto wireless carrier Helium, which used to be on its own platform. As you may know, they got off that platform and then he moved to Solana, but that's old news already. That's already, I don't know, a month old news. And in crypto years, that is like dog years. That is old. So the new news is of today that Solana's smartphone is going to be using Helium as a carrier. Not the carrier, but a carrier. So it's still significant news. And I had a tweet somewhere of someone showing their phone, and there's like no apps on it because, think about it. The phone is so much on the bleeding edge. It has hardly any apps. But let's go to the next news. From Crypto News Update on Twitter, ASIC collaborates with STEPN. Going back to Twitter, I'm not even talking about Twitter, but that is huge news. Because Elon Musk is buying Twitter, they're going to be, of course, losing billions perhaps in revenue. So maybe that's a mistake. And they're moving towards subscription. But the good news is Twitter is making in my prediction, a major pivot towards cryptocurrency with like what Meta is doing. I think it's going to be Twitter versus Meta in terms of corporations and maybe Google. So let's get back to this news. ASIC is collaborating with STEPN to launch a $200 running shoes on Solana. I actually have this shoe, not this version. I have the GT 2000, which this shoe is going to be based on. And it's a very good running shoe. Slightly overweight, but it's good if you're training for a marathon or half marathon. But forget about that. The point here is that ASIC is collaborating with STEPN to have an NFT version of it using the Solana platform. It might be Magic Eden, I'm not sure. I know Magic Eden, which is on Solana, is used for trading in NFTs. But this is very good news. Now, there's also news on STEPN, but this is old news. It must be like 2 months old that STEPN is a hot app on Solana. I'm not a big fan of STEPN. I think a lot of it's bad. It's basically you getting paid to move and to run. I'm not sure how long that could last. That just lasts, in my opinion, based on how much VC money funded it. Next news, Voyager Digital approved to refund $270 million in retail cash to clients, and there's over $1 billion still under lock. What I wanted to say here, and this is not written in this news story, is that I think Voyager Digital being bought out by the godfather of crypto, Sam Bankman-Fried, is a very big positive. This is basically FTX. And why is it a positive? Because FTX has lots of money. If Voyager was acquired by a smaller company or was entered chapter not 11 but chapter 12, I think it's called, basically breaking, I forgot what they call that, basically selling all the assets. Retail investors, that are in the centralized exchange of Voyager Digital would have gotten much less money. Next news story. From Web3 Foundation, they announced that Polkadot's native token DOT has morphed into a software company. Really? I always thought they were a software company. So they're no longer a security. This I saw coming because Gavin Wood, for the last year already, maybe more, has been like scampering around trying to make Polkadot not appear to be a security from the SEC's eyes. And he's done that in a few ways. One, trying to increase its nodes. Two, it has a lot of inflation, so he could say that it's not going to go up in price. It has no max limit. Basically, the coin could keep going up in terms of circulating supply. There's no limit, so the supply could keep going up, and so that makes it less of a security. I know it's not like I'm contradicting myself with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been said not to be a security by the former SEC commissioner, and they also have a max supply. But there's other things that go into that, like the number of miners, for example. Next point. This is some bad news. Ethereum inches even closer to total censorship due to OFAC compliance. Basically, you can say the 73%. Basically, the OFAC compliant blocks have grown that high. But the point is that the ethos, I should say, of cryptocurrency is that it's decentralized, it's secure, and there's no one telling you what to do. And here we have it. OFAC is basically telling you what to do, and they could basically censor Ethereum, so that's a bad thing. Now comes a really good news. This is the best news if you're a crypto holder or investor, whatever. I think this is the best news of the quarter, maybe even the last year. And there was so much news on Polygon. I'm only going to mention 3 to you. This is direct from Meta. They're saying soon you'll be able to make and sell NFTs on Instagram. And starting with the Solana, they're going to be using the Polygon platform and connecting with Solana. So it's good news basically for Solana and Polygon, and it's really good news for the storage entity called Arweave. And I think Arweave is a very interesting company, and Arweave is also used by Solana, I believe. So Arweave is really a hot chain right now. It's very risky, but it is very hot, and it's actually gone up something like 47% since this news announcement came out. But let's focus on Polygon. So here's all the 3 major news events, and I think the most important one is number 1. The second most important one is number 2, and a distant third is number 3. So let's go over them. Number 1, Instagram will soon let users mint, showcase, and sell NFTs on its apps, and we just talked about that. 2, JP Morgan also conducted the first DeFi transaction using the Polygon platform. Now, this is really, really important because JP Morgan, as you may know, is headed by Jamie Dimon, whom I like to call Demon because he is a hater of crypto. But hey, follow the money. Number 3, Polygon's efficiency, I don't know whether to use that word, but basically, well, I guess because it's a scaling layer 2, that's why they said that. So basically, they said that Reddit's going to be using the Polygon platform for its avatar and feed NFTs, and I can tell you, I have seen mass adoption. They're saying there's mass adoption. There is, because you can go on their chain and actually see wide adoption and a lot of transactions. And last but maybe least, I would like to say last but not least, is this news, X Day, and Elrond is rebranding to something called, where is it? MultiversX. So they're pivoting basically, and there it is. That's their conference is in Paris. And why did I say this may not be news? Because I think Elrond is one of the best small blockchains out there, but no one seems to care. But there is a big social following. The blockchain is only less than 2.5 years old. So maybe they just need some time to build up a momentum. And now I just want to show you some rankings here. Not rankings, performance. First of all, on that meta news, Solana was up 9% over the last 7 days. And Polygon had news not just from Meta, but from other places. So they're up a respectable 24%. Now remember, Polygon has had a very difficult time at breaking $10 billion market cap. And I think they're very undervalued compared to Ethereum. Remember, this is a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, and it's very undervalued compared to Ethereum. And let's look at some other ones. Arweave, I think, was up 47%. There we go, 47% based on that meta news. Elrond, no one gives a damn. And Elrond is up 1%. That's pretty sad. But it has done well over the last month, which you cannot get on this table here. And did I miss anyone? I said Arweave. Twitter's not trading anymore. Ethereum's doing well. This is Ethereum Classic. Ethereum's up. Well, you're not seeing it here. It's unchanged for 7 days, but actually did well over the last few weeks. It dipped after the merge on September 15th, and then it started rebounding after that. So I think Ethereum's one to watch. And so these I sorted them according to the largest to the smallest gainers for the last 7 days. And so you can see Arweave is number 1. But if you look at market caps, obviously it's a different story. Bitcoin obviously is a big gorilla, and then Ethereum, then BNB, which is rumored to be doing some funny stuff with money laundering, but that hasn't been hurting the token. And then there's XRP, which is rumored to be settling, and Binance, that's a stable coin. We won't talk about that. And Dogecoin has done well over the last month because of Twitter. And Cardano's were building momentum after the Vaso upgrade. And I think we talked about most of that. We didn't talk about Polkadot. They're up 6%. But the momentum has not been too good. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this and you got some value out of it, because I think Polygon is really the one to watch. Well, thanks for listening to Lamb's Cryptoverse, and please come back. Bye-bye.